You can tell within moments whether a woman knows herself. Not by how she looks, not by how much she has accomplished, not by how confident she appears on the outside. You can tell by how she moves. The way she enters a room without announcing herself, the way she speaks without needing the room to agree, the way she makes decisions without requiring everyone's approval first, the way she holds her own in a conversation without shrinking or overreaching. That quality is not charisma, it is not personality, it is self-knowledge, and it changes everything. Welcome to She Is Her. This is a space where we talk about identity, healing, and the journey of becoming the woman God created you to be. And guess what? This is video number 10 of our first series since we launched. And time flies when you're having fun, which means you have been on this journey with me for a while now. And I want to honor that by giving you something that ties everything together. Because all of it, the healing, the identity work, the letting go, the forming, the alignment leads here to a woman who knows herself and moves accordingly. A woman who knows herself moves differently. She does not move faster than everyone else. She does not move louder. She does not move with more force. She moves with more clarity, more intention, more of herself in every step. And that quality is the outcome of everything we have been building. So, what knowing yourself actually means? Knowing yourself is not knowing your personality type. It is not knowing your strengths and weaknesses from a list someone else wrote. Knowing yourself is something deeper. It is knowing what you actually value, not what you think you are supposed to value. It is knowing how you are wired, what fuels you, what drains you, what brings you alive, and what quietly dims you. It is knowing your triggers and understanding where they come from. It is knowing the difference between what you want and what you have been conditioned to want. It is knowing your limits and honoring them without guilt. It is knowing your God-given identity, not the version shaped by survival, by other people's expectations, or by the wounds you have carried, but the version that was placed in you before any of that happened. That level of knowing is what changes the way a woman moves. Through decisions, through relationships, through every room she enters. So, confidence versus performance. Most of what the world calls confidence is actually performance. Performance says, watch how capable I am. Confidence says, I know who I am. I do not need you to confirm it. Performance is loud because it needs to be heard. Confidence is quiet because it does not need an audience. Performance changes depending on the room. It reads the audience and adjusts. It becomes whoever the space needs it to be. Confidence stays consistent. It does not require the room's approval to remain steady. The woman who performs confidence is exhausted in a way she cannot always explain, because performance requires maintenance. It requires her to be always on, always managing how she's perceived, always adjusting to make sure the image holds. And the moment the room changes, she has to rebuild it. But the woman who knows herself does not perform. She simply is. She walks into a room the same way she walks out of it. She's the same person in the boardroom as she is in her kitchen. She does not shrink for spaces that feel too big or expand for audiences she wants to impress. She is herself, consistently, quietly, completely. And that consistency is the most powerful thing in the room. How does self-knowledge changes the way you move? Self-knowledge changes everything about how you navigate life. The woman who does not know herself makes decisions by consensus. She asks everyone what they think. She waits for the majority to confirm. She needs external agreement before she can trust her own instincts. The woman who knows herself consults. She listens. She considers. And then she decides from the inside out, from her values, her convictions, her God-given clarity, not from the loudest voice in the room. The woman who does not know herself is destabilized by disagreement. Someone questions her decision, and she questions it too. Someone challenges her direction, and she loses her footing. The woman who knows herself can receive pushback without being dismantled by it. She can hear, "I disagree," and respond with, "I understand, and I'm still moving forward." The woman who knows herself does not need relationships to complete her. She brings a whole self into every connection. She loves without losing herself. She gives without depleting herself. She connects without requiring the other person to be responsible for her sense of identity. That kind of relating is only possible when you know who you are before you enter the relationship. How do we build self-knowledge intentionally? Self-knowledge does not arrive by accident. It is built intentionally over time. The first is solitude. You cannot know yourself if you are never alone with yourself. Not scrolling, not feeling the silence, just present with your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own questions. The woman who fears solitude is often the woman who fears what she might find there. But what she finds is herself, and that is worth the discomfort of the quiet. The second is honest reflection. After a reaction, ask, why did I respond that way? And after a decision, ask, what value was I living from? After a season, ask, who was I in that? Was that the woman I want to be? Honest reflection is not self-criticism. It is self-study. And every woman who knows herself well is a woman who has studied herself honestly. The third is feedback received without defense. The people closest to you can see things in you that you cannot see yourself. The woman who builds self-knowledge creates spaces for honest feedback. She does not require the people who love her to only ever affirm her. She trusts them enough to hear the truth. And the fourth is returning to God as your mirror, because the fullest knowledge of who you are comes from the one who formed you, not the version shaped by experience, not the version shaped by opinion, the vision he sees, the one he called, equipped, placed her with intention. Return to him. Ask him who he made you to be. And then be still enough to receive the answer. Because what he says about you is the most accurate thing you will ever hear. Well, we have covered a lot of ground together, and I want to close with one final question. In what area of your life do you most need to move from the place of knowing yourself? Not performing, not proving, not managing how you are perceived, just moving as yourself, fully, quietly, with everything you now know about who God formed you to be. 10 videos, 10 honest conversations about identity, healing, letting go, about the forming, the loneliness, the discipline, the alignment, all of it leading here to a woman who knows herself and moves accordingly. That woman is not a stranger. She is you, becoming more fully herself with every honest choice, every healed wound, every step taken from the inside out. She is her. If this series has meant something to you, please do subscribe, because this is only the beginning. There's so much more to come in the next series. Leave a comment below. Tell me, what has been your biggest takeaway from this series so far? Thank you for watching and stay blessed. I'll see you in the next one.